AM Sports Report brought to you by Northwest Furniture and Mattress. Big Red Rocking Chair on Elm off Adams and LaGrange. Go check out their showroom. Northwest Furniture and Mattress, they want to make you comfortable in your own home. So what's going on today? For LHS Tigers boys and girls basketball, it's senior day, and they're going to take on Ontario at home tonight. The girls game will tip off at 6, boys at 7:30. The boys team has had a rough year this year. I mean, it can't possibly have been a fun year for them. I hate to say that, but it's just, I've talked about it on past shows. It's going to be a rough few years until we figure out, like how to really develop the feeder programs for basketball like they have been in the past. You see it with wrestling, Mat Club, middle school, great feeder programs. We just don't have it with basketball yet. And I know there's parents and people in the community that are really trying hard to make it happen. And you don't build a state championship basketball team in 4 years of high school. You build it over time, from the time they're young kids all the way up through. So best of luck to them tonight on senior night for the Tigers. It's their last GOL game of the year. The girls will probably make the playoffs. The boys will be done with GOL play after tonight. LHS boys wrestling will have their district tournament in Crook County this weekend, and we're gonna get to see where they stand. I mean, the top 3 teams in 4A are Sweet Home, Crook County, LaGrange, and Crook County's in our district. So we're going to get to really see what's going to play out at the state championships. We'll get a preview of it, basically. Outside of Sweet Home, which I think is probably the deepest team in the state at the 4A level. But that don't count LaGrange out. We're looking at 5 state champions possibly, maybe even 6. I would guarantee 4. I'll say that right now. We're going to have 4 state champions for sure. Barring anything unforeseen, like everybody on the team gets hurt. But state champions individual don't always equate to a team state championship, and depth is where we might get hurt. We're going to need at least 16, 17 kids to qualify this weekend, and we'll know more by the end of the weekend, and I'll keep you guys updated. Girls wrestling will have their districts the following weekend in Scappoose, and I think they have a really good shot at winning the 4A, 3A, 2A, 1A state championship. It's all clumped together for girls, and I really do believe that they have a shot to win that. They've finished second or first in a lot of tournaments, and then the ones that they've finished second in, it's always to Thurston, which is a 5A school, so they don't even wrestle them in the state championships. So we're going to see a couple girls vie for state championships as well. It's pretty exciting. Wrestling for boys in LaGrange has always been super exciting, but now there's like a real buzz around girls wrestling, and I like it. I like it a lot. EOU men's and women's hoops are at home this weekend, hosting Multnomah on Friday, Warner Pack on Saturday. Friday night's game is a pink out. The men's team sits at 8-8 in the conference. They're in 7th place. So right now, if the season ended today, they make the tournament. The top 8 teams make the tournament. There's no buys for anybody. It's just 1 versus 8, 2 versus 7, and so on, and you roll from there. College of Idaho's on a 15-game winning streak, and they look pretty unbeatable right now. They're the returning national champs. They didn't lose a game last year. They've only lost 2 games this year, and they're tough. I hate to say it because I hate saying that CVI is good at anything, but their basketball team is really good this year. The women's team is 10-6 in conference. They sit in 4th place, so they're right in the middle of the pack. They were predicted to win in the first coaches poll of the year. They were chose to win the CCC this year, so they kind of underperformed. But if I know Angie, that team will be ready to play come tournament time, and they'll show strong for sure. I would imagine they end up making the national tournament somehow. There's been years past. I mean, there was a couple of years ago where one of Angie's teams lost 11 games and still made the national tournament, which is like almost unheard of in basketball. But her history and her overall performance over time plays into that as well. So I would imagine the women's team will make the national tournament. I sat down with EOU head baseball coach Kyle Treadway. We talked about their hot start. They've won more games in the first 2 weekends than they won all of last season. Here's a little snip. So 5-2. We have a great homestand this last weekend against St. Martin, a D2 team. We did well down in California. Talk about it a little bit. Where are we at?
Yeah, I think it's funny. Today is actually the anniversary of me getting hired here at EOU. So
One year.
1 year, man, and we're entering into that second year. And brand new coaching staff. We brought in 26, 27 new players.
Wow.
And we had a big senior class, right? So returned a lot of the guys who were already here, but added to kind of what we had coming back. And, you get that full year of preparation in the weight room and practice and, implement your new systems, things like that. I think that, that's kind of how we've gotten here, right? And definitely more dynamic offensively this year. Shout out to our coaching staff who's done a great job with our preparation, specifically Jordan Hara, our hitting coach. And, I deal primarily with the pitchers, to be honest with you. So, a lot has to do with how well our assistants are preparing our guys. Yeah. But the buy-in's been awesome. You know what I mean? And I think when you're recruiting a team that won 3 wins last year and kind of a brand new program, there's a lot of question marks, right?
Yeah.
But our faith hasn't wavered at all, and we had a really strong fall as well. So rolling that momentum into the season, and guys are playing confident, guys are playing free. We still have a lot to clean up, obviously, and I think if a few things bounce our way the other way, we could be undefeated right now. But at the same time, if a few things don't bounce our way, we could be 3-4 right now, 2-5, right? Yeah. So, but excited to see our guys play with that kind of effort and passion, and it's been fun so far.
Yeah, when a lot of people don't understand, when you say you just take care of pitchers, that's not true. Well, I mean, the head coach at this level in college, they have so much stuff to do. People don't understand.
100%. Yeah, I mean, in terms of the day-to-day administrative work,
stuff,
and that was
crazy.
The thing. They say. And I obviously through 1 year now I've gotten a taste of it, but they always tell you when you're an assistant, you never know how much work you're going to have as a head guy, and you kind of are like, oh yeah, okay, whatever. And then you get in the seat and you're like, holy hell, there's a lot going on. And, it has definitely been a change of pace in terms of what I do on a daily basis. But I think we've figured out a good workflow, and think we've got a good system to let our assistants also take a lot of the load from a day-to-day preparation standpoint.
AM Sports Report brought to you by Northwest Furniture and Mattress. Big Red Rocking Chair on Elm, off Adams in LeGrand.